And we're live. There we go.
Let's start mine.
All right.
Guess we're good.
Yeah, I guess. I guess that's it. So like now what? Like now what do we do? What do we talk about? What's like what even happens here?
How do you podcast?
I don't know. Don't you normally just like babble about like nonsense for like an hour and then upload it to places and then all of a sudden you're famous?
That's what Joe Rogan does.
Yeah.
He just
Like
talks about DMA.
here.
I don't even know what they're called, but
So have you guys ever tried like have you guys been in DMT before? Jamie, pull up the video. I have a video. That's it. That's fucking Joe Rogan.
yeah, pretty much.
So do we just have to get like DMT and a bunch of weed and Elon Musk on here, right? And then that's about it.
Drink Buffalo Trace whiskey and smoke some random cigars that he finds.
Yeah, that's it. That's about it.
I mean, I guess basically we just go over like kind of what our point in even having this even is. I mean, I know that a lot of it is just like we're bored, but there are some things that we're actually interested in talking about that we talk about off camera. So we might as well talk about them on camera.
Yeah, like it's kind of like what I said in a couple of posts. We'll be talking about like like sports. Mainly hockey and boxing and MMA because you're into like MMA and I'm in hockey, so mostly those two. Maybe some football when the time comes around. No baseball because I could care less about that.
Yeah, I think the Pirates are on a 5-game losing streak at this point.
Yeah.
I know they had the home opener today. Didn't watch a single minute of that.
Didn't they win like one game and then everybody like lost their mind? They're like, "Oh yeah, go Pirates!" And then I just see these posts everywhere of like, "Oh, Pirates already lost 74 in a row," and I'm like, well, that's Pirates for you.
Yeah, I think they won opening night and then they've lost ever since. Going into today, I don't know if they won today or not.
I don't know. The Pens were doing pretty good though. They were on that 5 or 6 game winning streak and then got shredded by the Rangers.
Yeah, they play again tonight, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Malkin's been practicing. They're saying he's finally making a comeback.
Yeah, they said that he was skating in a contact jersey. So next couple of games, he should probably be back.
Yeah.
Right in time for playoffs.
When the Penguins first started playing, I watched almost every single game, and then I stopped after a while, and I haven't really been following it too much recently. But I mean, are we in the top right now? Like I couldn't even tell you. We could be out of playoffs, and I wouldn't even know right now.
Last time I checked, which was a couple of games ago, we were third place in our division, but like tied for third because the Islanders also had the same amount of points, but they had more goals, or there was some stupid weird thing of how they differentiated the tiebreaker. But like at that point in time, we were in the playoffs because it's still the same. I think it's still the top 3 of each division goes in the playoffs still. But
okay, they kept that.
Yeah, but us being in the hardest division, that never means anything. It doesn't matter. Like we have Boston, we have the Islanders, we have the Capitals. Like it's just not even fair. It's just not.
Yeah, we have to run the gauntlet every single time we're trying to proceed in playoffs.
Yeah, and then Capitals yet again, they're first in the division. Whoop-de-doo there, and they're gonna yoink it in the playoffs. Like whoop-de-doo there too. Oh, Ovechkin has 1 cup in like 80 years of him playing. That's awesome. Like everybody has to win once, except for maybe McDavid.
Yeah, I think we dodged a bullet with oh god, why can't I not think of his name? Matt Murray. We got rid of him and he went on to Ottawa and did absolutely nothing with them.
Beginning of the season though, wasn't he like best of his career? Everybody's like, "Oh, we threw, look at that," and then he just went on the shitter. He just completely just.
I don't know. I like a month in, he had the worst save percentage in the whole NHL, like behind backups and everything.
So. I mean, Murray, in my opinion, was a good goalie, but he was never a starting goalie. He was a good, like with how the Penguins have it set up, we don't have a main goalie. We have 2 starters that we just rotate through. Matt Murray in that circumstance is perfect, but he's not the guy you can just rely on the whole time. Mm-hmm. But I don't think Jarry or DeSmith are either. I don't think they're at that point yet where we could rely on one of them with a subpar second goalie.
No, I think we need to find something. It'd been like if Vegas came to you and said they give us Fleury back, would you take him? I mean, I think Fleury has to come back here at some point. I don't know for how long. It could be for like half a season or a season. I don't know,
I
but
mean,
he needs to come
that's a
back
big
here.
thing. Everybody thinks he's going to retire here in Pittsburgh because we bred him to what he is. But also, Fleury at this point isn't really doing that well either. I mean, he was benched what 2 seasons ago, and then Subban was running the league like another nobody goalie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I went to Fleury's first game ever, and
How old were you? Like 4?
I don't remember, but it was. I mean, because it would have been 2000. I don't remember. It was in the 2003, 4,
Well,
5 in that range. So
it
I would
had
have
to
been
have been
like,
3 because it was we got Fleury, and then the next year we got Malkin second, and then the year after that we got Crosby first because we went first, second, first in the drafts.
yeah.
Somehow,
I mean,
just somehow.
well, that's what happens when you're terrible. And like 2000, the Penguins were the worst team in the league consistently. But I
Everybody
remember,
says we blew the 03-04 season to get or the season after to get Crosby. That's what everybody says because the last like 5 games, like Lemieux, like just like didn't do anything, barely skated, like because everybody knew it was Crosby. Like everybody's like, it's not who's gonna be picked number first, it's what team's gonna pick Crosby.
I feel like that's how it always is in hockey. It's never like, hey, we have the first pick. And like in NFL, you first pick, you can pick a quarterback, you pick a running back, whatever. But in hockey, it's like, okay, whoever has the first pick, we know they're picking Austin Matthews. We know they're picking Crosby. We know they're picking whoever.
But that's I mean, I would say most of the time, yeah, like a 90%, that's mostly what it is. But like this year was another sweepstakes year. The most recent draft. It was like Alex like Lafreniere guy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, apparently he's supposed to be like another Crosby, but I haven't heard anything of him since he was drafted. But like Austin Matthews kind of came out of like left field. He was just like randomly like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna be really good. But then the only reason he got real famous is he scored 4 goals in his first game.
Yeah, yeah. He had a really good impression on everybody.
Yeah,
Memory from then
but
on.
but that game he scored 4 goals. Toronto still lost.
I didn't know that. At least I don't remember that.
Yeah, they still lost. But it's like if you look at like Connor McDavid, like there's another guy that's just he was like, oh, McDavid, and all these guys are great goal scorers. They put up the points, but their teams are just absolute trash.
Yeah, Edmonton has had how many first number one picks
Yeah,
in the last 5-10 years, and they've done nothing with them.
mm-mm. No, it's like the same with like Toronto. Like Toronto's doing good. They're doing very very well in the regular season, but they have like Jonathan Tavares, they have Austin Matthews, they have Mitch Marner. Like with those people, you should be running the league. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But if you can't do anything in playoffs and win cups, what does it matter? It doesn't mean anything.
Just imagine how lucky we've been here in Pittsburgh with Crosby, Malkin, Letang, Gensel now, Fleury. I mean, we've had some of the best players in the league, like in history, on our team currently. Like Malkin and Crosby will go down as some of the best of all time.
Oh, but apparently Malkin isn't one the top 100. I guess I guess he just gets boned for that one.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I don't. But like after they like retire with it, which is gonna be coming up soon, like within the next 5 years, Penguins are gonna have to do a complete rebuild. You're gonna have like Jake Getzel as our captain, and he's gonna be like, "What the fuck do I do?" Like.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how he does without the other superstars beside him. I mean, because he is great. He's a great hockey player. He's one of the best. I mean, not like top 5 or something, but he's top 10, maybe top 20 in the league. But how does he play without Crosby, Malkin?
Yeah, because like I mean, because he was thrown on Malkin's line when he first started, and that's what made him all famous. Is he scored his first shot, first goal, and then scored 2, and everybody's like, "Oh wow, look at this kid!" And then all of a sudden, you throw him on Crosby's line, and just boom, just he was just it was unbelievable the chemistry they have. Okay, so
You
all
said
right,
Gensel scored on his. Go ahead.
so I'm pretty sure this is AJ's mom in my chat right now. She goes, Mario scored on his first shot. We knew that, but Fleury gave up a goal on his first shot.
I was gonna say that. I was at his that's where I was going with when I said that, is I was at Fleury's first game ever. He gave up his first goal ever on the first shot ever taken on him. And I
But
just
see,
remember, like,
isn't that crazy?
it deflated the whole stadium because I remember we were so excited. They called him out. He had the yellow pads back then still. Comes out, they skate down, shoots, scores. Immediately we look down, we're like, oh fuck, here we go again. Like we suck so bad that we get the first pick, we choose Fleury, and now he's just not going to do anything for us.
Yeah,
And
but like Fleury has always been good, but sometimes under pressure he would just crack.
mhm.
But because like if you look at the playoffs, other than 08 and 09, I mean 08 we lost, yeah, that sucked. And then we went back to back in 09 we won. But like Fleury most of the time was a good goalie, but we just had such young kids that could just outscore everyone back then, and it was just it was almost like Matt Murray. Like when we won back to back with Murray, most of it was our defense, and it's just outscoring. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, yes, there was some games where Murray stopped like 43 shots. Like, yeah, that's awesome, but most time he was facing what, like 20.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm thinking back some of the Stanley Cup runs that we've had recently, and some of the like the HBK line that we had that year.
We just got so lucky. Like, no one wanted Phil Kessel. He was a coach killer. He's garbage. He's washed. No one wants him. He comes to Pittsburgh, and now look at him. That line will go down as one of the top 5 lines in any playoff history. It was just amazing.
Does he even still play anymore, though?
I
could not tell you
I'm
where
pretty
he
sure.
is
Ah,
or
fuck.
how he's doing.
Oh, he's at is he in Arizona still?
He went to Arizona, but is he still there?
I thought so.
Yeah, I mean, you never hear anything about him.
I mean, I heard he was like doing good, and then he was doing shitty, and then he was doing good again. I don't know. Yeah, he's still with the Coyotes.
Thanks, Jamie. Thanks for looking that up.
Yep, Jamie, pull up the video. Oh, let's look at his stats real quick here. All right, so this season, he's played 40 games and has 29 points with a -9.
Oh boy.
And then last season, he played 70 games, 38 points, and a -21.
Yeah, I mean, so he hasn't done anything since he's left us.
And then his last year in Pittsburgh, 18-19, 82 games, 82 points. -19, though. And then the year before that, 82 games, 92 points. The year before that, 82 games, 70 points. 82 games, 59 points. I forgot he was on like a superhuman streak there for a while of like never missing a game.
Well, some of these years you're saying he was on our team, right? Like he hasn't been gone for that long from us, right?
Yeah, he was on ours 15, 16 all the way down. So yeah, his last year with Toronto, he was 82 games, 61 points. First season with us, 82, 59. Second, 82, 70. And then 17, 18 was actually his best year point-wise ever at 92.
Wow.
So, I mean, yeah, I think he hasn't really done anything. He has a career -116. Holy shit. Man, poor guy. Poor Phil.
But it makes you wonder why he doesn't like get along. He doesn't seem to get along with his teammates. I mean, he doesn't. He's not he's not
No.
a Crosby where he's been with one team forever. I feel like he just gets tired of being in one spot.
He just gets angry. Like, I mean, remember how mad he used to get, like throwing shit and yelling? It was awesome. Like, it was entertaining. But like, he can put up points if he tries. Just, now he's just not doing it. But the thing about Kessel too is like you need a good center with him. You can't just throw any center and have him just go out there. Like if you have like Ovechkin out there, you could put Ovechkin with like a rookie center, and Ovechkin will just take over and still shoot the puck. Will still score goals. Kessel wasn't that guy.
Nah, see, that makes you think. Like, I don't like Kessel's not a superstar by any means. He needs the guys around him. He's a solid player, or at least he was. He was a solid player, but he still needed the guys around him to kind of boost him.
Yeah, but you put him in the HBK line, then oh boy.
Yeah, look out.
Dude, all because Malkin got hurt. Sully was like, "Here, we'll just throw these rejects together and see what happens."
In history.
Bonino. Dude, I miss Nick Bonino.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite guys to watch.
Mm-hmm. He was a good, solid third line center. He was perfect for what he was. He wasn't great, wasn't bad. He was just a solid third line center. Hagelin has nothing for him but his speed, but
he was so damn fast. Like that was a game changer. Just having his speed
I
on the team in general.
I think he won a couple of the times he went to the All-Star game. He won the speed competition, but now you have Connor McDavid that has rocket ships attached to him.
Well, yeah, I mean it's like trying to compete with Zdeno Chara in the hardest shot. Like you're just not going to do it for the most part. Like you may a year here and there, but for the most part, you're not going to compete.
All right, so here's AJ's mom again. But what if Flower would have came out of first season and played good or even average in his first 2 seasons? We would have never got Malkin or Crosby. So actually, Flower playing bad or not the best in his first season saved our team. 100% accurate. That is what because if Fleury would have came out and been a game changer and we would have had a positive season, we would have made the playoffs, we wouldn't have got first round or second pick the year after, which means we wouldn't have gotten Malkin. But if we wouldn't have gotten Malkin, we might have still been able to get Crosby because we probably would have maybe thrown the next year or whatever. But still like that. Like, what if we didn't have...
I'd be interested to see like who was the second worst team behind us those years. Just see who would Crosby have gone to, who Malkin. We technically drafted Malkin before Crosby, right?
Malkin was the year before, but he was drafted second. Ovi was first.
But then Malkin had to go to. He wasn't allowed to leave Russia, right?
So yeah, he didn't play. Him and Crosby had the same starting season because Malkin had a problem with his visa or something, and they would he wasn't allowed to play. But like, imagine if we would have somehow got 3 in a row first round picks.
Yeah.
What was that?
I was just saying, yeah, I mean that I don't know.
Yeah. But like, imagine we would have got like 3 first round picks and we would have picked Ovi and Crosby. What do you think would have happened there? I don't think Ovi would have stayed.
It wouldn't have worked.
Because it would have been Crosby and Ovi together first line because Malkin's a center. Ovi's what, a left winger, a right winger? I think left.
Yeah, there's a point where you have too many superstars on a team. Everybody wants the puck. Everybody wants to score.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like in hockey, you want to have the one guy where you want the puck on their stick at the end of the game. And in that case, who has the puck? Crosby, Ovechkin, maybe Malkin. Like, who do you choose? I mean,
but like if you look at the old All-Star games where like Crosby and Ovechkin used to play together, like the last time Crosby went when the 3-on-3 was initiated in the All-Star game, they played together and they were unbelievable because Crosby's a playmaker, Ovechkin's a goal scorer. That's just how they play.
yeah,
like Crosby doesn't care about who scores a goal as long as it goes in the back of the net. Ovechkin's like, give me puck, let me shoot, and just screams in Russian with his one tooth. It's just all he does.
He just sets up near the face-off circle, and they just toss him the puck, and he just tries to snipe it in.
He does the same thing Patrick Hornquist does, except Patrick Hornquist just tries to beat the crap out of people.
Yeah.
And I miss him till this day. I love him. Love that guy.
In front of the net.
Did you know he was the last draft pick his year? Very, very, very last. Like he was 192 at a 192.
What the hell are they thinking?
Yeah, and he was they're like he's a nobody. We don't care. And but he wasn't really he was never an all-star player. He's never the type of guy that if he's not playing for you, you don't know who the hell he is. But you always see him in front of the net, and he always is trying to make plays of getting people the hell out of the way.
Yeah, I mean that goes back to what I'm saying. You can't have all superstars. You have to have the guys that are going to grind. Back in the old days, it sucks, but back in the old days, there used to be so much more fighting too. So you needed to have the guys that weren't afraid to drop the gloves, like the George LaRock of the team.
Yep, like, the Rock days was the best. Like original Ryan Reeves, like back when he was a rookie, dude. He would just beat the shit out of people. It was great. Like I still watch Ryan Reeves fight compilations till this day because he literally was just so fun to watch. And I loved it when he was on our team. Like when people would try to beat up Crosby, you just throw Reeves out with Crosby and everybody leaves him alone because everybody's scared the hell of that guy.
I don't like. I try watching hockey games now, and it's just that grittiness and like the fighting. It's gone right now. Maybe people are afraid to touch each other because of COVID, but like you never see.
No, there's but that's the thing about fights. They should allow fights to come back in because that causes all this dumb shit. Like Brad Marchand being a little rat that he is, and he's like tripping people, licking people, shoving people, doing all this dirty stuff because he knows that no one's gonna fight him because no one wants to take the 10-minute penalty and no one wants to get suspended for doing this. And like that's what the NHL does now is like they just suspend everybody for everything.
There's a rule in place you can't fight right now?
There's been I think 2 seasons ago they implemented a rule where like it's like a 5-minute or a 10-minute if you fight. It's
I feel like that's such a big part of hockey. You can't take that.
It
away.
was like I haven't seen a fight on the Pens like a decent one since Jimmy Oleksiak fought Chara.
I wish there was fighting in other sports. No, that would be funny.
Dude, imagine football. Like if you just have like Antonio Brown just like trying to fight a lineman.
Not even well, yeah, I mean that, but just imagine two linemen, just these 300-pound men, just trying to fight each other, pulling their shoulder pads over their head.
Like, dude, that's why hockey's just the best. Like, there's just nothing compared to it. All right, Aegis Mom again. Season 04-05 was canceled, so us getting Crosby was actually because the year before we had number 1 pick. The year before we got him, the one we got Malkin. Okay, so the year we had Malkin, we picked him, but since the season was canceled, we had number 1 pick, so we automatically got to pick Crosby when he was eligible. So that's another like Cinderella story of like good first round pick, but if that wasn't canceled, Crosby probably I don't think Crosby would have been eligible to play, so he would have got picked the next year.
So it all just fell in line perfectly. I forgot we had that lockout.
Yeah. You remember the lockout when we were in high school? It was like half the season.
Yeah, very vaguely. I just remember the season started super late, and
yeah, and everybody's like, "What the hell's going on?" But like, look how well that season worked out, and look at the season now with like COVID and shit. Like, it's just like these games are just so like they're trying to fit all these games and all these things, and we have so many back-to-back games, and that's why some teams aren't doing well. Because if you only have one, like what I said before, if you only have one all-star goalie and your backup is shit, how the fuck are you supposed to do 6 back-to-back games in a season?
yeah, I mean, if you're a team that needs to catch up in the standings, the schedule is great right now because you're playing teams back to back, and you have a chance to make up the points. But if you're ahead in the standings, you hate it because a team that's right below you, all it takes is them beating you twice in a row, 2 nights in a row, and it's over. Or not over, but you're losing your spot.
All right. So in the standings right now, okay, this one blew my mind. Central Division, Panthers, Hurricanes, Lightning are top 3.
Okay.
East Division, Capitals, Islanders, Penguins. We are 4 points behind the Islanders right now, but we're 4 points above the Bruins. So, well, the Islanders are on a 3-game winning streak. We're on a 2-game losing streak. West Division, you have Avalanche, Knights, and Wild. All right. That all makes sense. In the North Division, you got Maple Leafs, Oilers, and Jets. Fucking Patrick Laine on the Winnipeg Jets. Love that guy. He looks like a gremlin, but I love him.
Oh, COVID ruined everything for sports. I couldn't even tell you which players are on what teams. Like, I know the players are on our team for the most part, but I couldn't tell you where any other superstars other than like Ovechkin.
Yeah.
Just when COVID started and players started moving around, it became like too hard to follow everything.
Oh wait, Patrick Laine plays for the Blue Jackets now? What?
Prime example of what I'm just talking
Yeah,
about.
like what?
Yeah, like
what even are the Blue Jackets? Where are they in the standings? Oh god, they're what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're 6th in their division right now. Oof.
Oof, big oof.
They have a negative 29 differential right now. Jesus Christ. But like, so coming to like our division, you're looking at the Bruins in 4th place right now. 36 games, 46 points. They're 20, 10, and 6. How much you think that actually compares to like Chara leaving and playing with the Capitals now. Because I mean, the Capitals technically have the same amount of points as the Islanders right now, so they're not blowing anything out of the water.
No, I mean when Chara left, everybody made a big deal about it, saying how great the Capitals were going to be because of him. Like, how much help does Chara actually give a team? I don't think he's what he used to. I mean, I don't even know what like he's great, obviously, but he was never a superstar for a team. He was just this big body. Like, I don't know. Like, I knew when he went to the Capitals, I knew it wasn't going to change much.
No, like I knew with the Capitals he wasn't going to do really anything. They just sent him there to try to win a cup. But like, in my mind, I mean, in a regular season, not this season, the Bruins have the same amount of chance to win a cup as the Caps do.
Yeah.
Like, at least people like the Bruins, like, I don't, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't know. Chara is just a big, meaty man that just likes to shoot the puck and yell and fight people.
I always hate facing him or watching teams face him just because, like, you can't get gritty with Chara. He's just so big.
No, if you try to fight him, you get your ass beat. Like, it's
Yeah.
not. Jamie, pull up the video.
Like, I mean, imagine like somebody trying to battle with Chara in front of the net or something. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
No, and I think next couple seasons you'll see people starting to fight back more against the Bruins because there's no Chara anymore. Because now that you have Marchand being, dirty that he is, people might stop. They might not take a shit anymore. I just hate Brad Marchand, dude. Like, he's a good player, but he's the type of guy that if he's not playing for you, you hate him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it always is. There's players that you hate solely because they're not on your team, whether it's because they're dirty or because they are just great. I mean, like, as Penguin fans, we're taught to hate Ovechkin.
I love Ovechkin. I think he's a great player.
It's only because he's so great. We hate him because he's great, and we don't want a player that's greater than Crosby. Imagine if we had Ovechkin on our team; he'd be our favorite player, probably.
But like that's another thing about this Crosby Ovechkin debate. I looked this up the other day. I'm gonna get the exact things here. I need a Jamie in my life.
So a few more podcasts in, maybe we'll get one of those.
Yeah, just have like AJ in the background, just like throwing us stuff.
AJ, look that up.
All right, so Ovechkin career, he's played 1,187 games, has 1312 points. Crosby, 1,022, so he's played 65 less games. And their only difference is 5 fucking points. 5!
Yeah.
How can you tell me someone is so much better, number one, and then Crosby's garbage? There's a 5-point difference in 160 games.
Yeah, man. Imagine if Crosby didn't have problems with what he had a high ankle sprain at some point.
Concussions, all of his concussions.
Multiple concussions.
Stats
look completely different.
If you had Crosby play his full entire career, and like if they had the same exact games, and Crosby, because when Crosby got hurt, that was his prime time. Like, if Crosby got hurt like 3-4 years ago, he's obviously he's the point per game player, he always will be, but he wasn't putting up the 120 points a season he was when he was a young kid, and that's when he got hurt. So he could have had. If he would have played 40 more games, he could have had 80 more points. He could have had 100 more points. We don't know.
I mean, did Ovechkin have any big injuries at all?
There was probably some. I don't really.
I can't recall Ovechkin ever like missing half a season or something.
No, and then that's the thing. And there's only a 5-point fucking difference between them. And you're telling me that Ovechkin's better? No, absolutely not. It's not even a debate. Ovechkin is not a bad player by any means, but he is number 2 in the salary cap era. He has been the second best player, and it always will be. He has won Stanley Cup. Crosby has been to 4. He's won 3 of them. There's a 5-point difference between them. Like, oh yeah, Ovechkin always wins the Rocket Richard Trophy. That's cool. You sit in front of the net. You score goals. That's awesome. But like, I'd rather have a playmaker on my team that can win us a game other than one guy trying to score a goal every single time.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me. That's just me talking here.
I mean, I'm sure we'd be saying sort of the opposite thing if we were a Capital fan. We'd probably be saying, well, maybe we would be fine. Hey, Ovechkin missed this amount of games this one season, and he's much better than Crosby, and he's a better goal scorer. And I mean, which we've
He
said
is
like
a better goal scorer. He
Ovechkin is a better
100%
goal
is.
scorer. Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily make you a better player because you're a better goal scorer.
Yeah, see, like but like them two also, like if you look in the next 5 years, it's going to be the same debate with Austin Matthews and with fucking what's his name, Connor McDavid. It's going to be the same debate again of, oh, which one's better, which one's, just because Austin Matthews is more of like the Ovi, he's more of the goal scorer, whereas McDavid is more of the Crosby, he's the playmaker. But if those two teams don't start doing something with their defense and their goaltending, other than Toronto, because apparently they're doing great this year. But like if the Oilers don't do something with their goaltending, Ovechkin's just going to be left in the dust. He's just going to be, a guy that's, he's 10th overall on points when he retires in 20 years. Like that's awesome, but like no one's going to know who he is.
Yeah.
Like championships get people, that championships get your name out there. They get the revenue that everybody wants, and yes, let's hear the crazy fact. Mama Bear AJ. I think it's AJ's mom. I don't know. We'll find out.
What's your name?
Mama Bear AJ.
Mama. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it wouldn't. I feel like none of our friends would be pulling out these facts, so it has to be somebody's mom.
Yeah, I mean, I know she loves hockey, so.
Okay, well then that's good.
So we'll look at Malkin real quick. Malkin has played 936 games and he has 1,100 points. So that's the thing too about like him. Like, what if Malkin played another 100 games when he was younger? Would he be close to them? Would he be at, he's a point per game player, so would he be at the 1,300 mark like them? Like that's another thing. Like he gets left in the dust too because, he gets left in the dust mainly because of Crosby. That's the only thing. If Malkin got drafted to any other team, he'd be their number one, and it wouldn't be the Crosby and Ovi show. It'd be the Crosby, Malkin, Ovi show because it would just be them three battling it out the whole time.
Jeez, could you imagine those three on separate teams?
It'd be entertaining because you would have three great teams that just like go off. If you took away Wayne's goals and just went off his assists, he would still have the most points in NHL history.
That was such a different time, though.
I mean, it was like goalies didn't do the butterfly, like they really didn't do anything. But that's the thing too. That will never be broken. That will never ever be broken. He'll have that forever.
Yeah, but exactly. But that's ridiculous because if you took Crosby, Malkin, Ovechkin, Connor McDavid, any of the major superstars now, and put them back then, they would blow Wayne and Mario out of the water.
That's the thing too. That's what Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux have said. They said if you put today's hockey players, like even Crosby not being that fast, if you put the play style today and you just like take these kids and throw them back into like the 70s and 80s, they would be scoring 400 fucking points a season. It wouldn't even, it would just be ridiculous.
I mean, the goalies wore like very little pads.
Yeah,
like
they didn't do a butterfly. They stood up the whole time. They couldn't catch a beach ball.
I mean, imagine if you took some of the guys. Imagine if you went way back to when the goalies like wore little masks or didn't wear a mask at all.
Back when Jim Rutherford used to be a goalie.
Like it wouldn't even be close.
Mm-mm.
But there's always going to be the debate because you can't compare the two. If you look back in Crosby or in Mario and Wayne's time, those two were the best of all time. If you look now, you're looking at Crosby, Ovechkin. They're the best.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see like our kids' generations. Like who's going to be their number one guy? Because like we grew up watching Crosby, Malkin, Ovechkin, Fleury, all them play. But like we were lucky enough that we at least were able to see Mario play a little bit when we were younger because he came back again. Like my mom always brags me. She's always like, I got to see Mario win both cups and I got to see Wayne Gretzky play. And I was like, that's cool, Mom. Okay, whatever. It's fine. But like, Like what are our kids gonna like grow up with? Like in 10 more years when all these superstars retire and no one knows what to do anymore. Like what kids are in the pipeline? Like what
Is
what
it Malkin's son like 3 or 4 by now?
he was born the same exact day as my niece. Fun fact.
So I mean, let's go 10, 12 years from now. Malkin's son is 18, 19, coming to the NHL. I mean, those are going to be the future. Players like Malkin's son, or like, I guess you can't even say that because like some of the guys that are coming out now, they're not related to other players.
No, but
It's
like
gonna be,
most of the time, people that relate to people, they're just they're
it's gonna be
mediocre.
some random kid who went to he lived in America, but then he went to Canada to play hockey, or he was born in Quebec or something, started playing junior nationals.
All right, so before my next question here, so Mama Bear AJ, who would your Mount Rushmore of Penguins be?
How many people are on the Mount Rushmore? How many people do we have to pick?
There's four. There's four, right? Yeah, there's four.
Sure, let's go with that. Well, it's tough because it depends where you're going. Like if you're going by like the best Penguins of all time, like that's much different than if you go to the best 4 that I've been able to continuously see in my lifetime. Like I can't put Mario on the Mount Rushmore of players that I've seen play. I've only saw him play a few years, and that was when he was about to retire.
Hmm.
But if you put best of all time, he's obviously right there. So I mean, I think if you do best of all time, you have Crosby, Malkin, Mario, and Yager. But I rarely got to see Yager play at all. He's still playing hockey over in
Yeah, over in Russia, he like owns something. No, he's not my brother, Diarrhea. You've played with him before. This is a piece of loin. Well, here's the thing: you have to put Mario up there. You have to put Badger Bob Johnson up there, and you have to put Crosby up there. So there's 3 already. It's pretty much just who's your 4th going to be? Is it going to be Malkin? Is it going to be Yager? Is it going to be that one captain that died in a car crash? They retired his jersey back in the heyday.
Yeah, but he didn't actually do anything, right?
No, I don't really. No, it was.
He was supposed to be a superstar and he died, so they did his number. Which to this day, it's amazing that Mario and his number add up to make Crosby's, but that's just a general weird fact about it.
Well, Crosby was born 787, and he picked number 87.
That's the exact reason.
Yeah, he was probably born fucking 87 minutes into the day or some crazy shit like that too. Like,
I mean, but if you're choosing who we've consistently gotten to see in our lifetime, I mean, Crosby, Malkin, then where do you go from there? I mean, yeah, those are the 2 obvious ones, but
also, like, there's 3 different things. There's all time, which is Mario, Badger, Crosby, and whoever a 4th, whoever. Yeah, and then there's just players, which is Mario, Yager, Crosby, Malkin. And then it's modern day, who it's Crosby, Malkin, probably Fleury, and then whoever your 4th wants to be.
Yeah, maybe Fleury. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think back to like in our lifetime, the superstars we've had have been those 3. I mean, Letang's been great, but is he the 4th best in our lifetime? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, like Letang also was kind of like a secret superstar too. He wasn't drafted high up. He wasn't top 10 or top 20, but he came to our team and he tried his ass off, and he was one of the young kids that just became a superstar playing with us.
It's too hard to do that with sports. Try to pick the best because every player has like something that they're better at than another person.
Yeah, and then if you wait 5 more seasons, you might see Jake Getzel be up there. He might just blow up and start being crazy. Like, we have a lot of young kids. Like Brian Russ, in my mind's underrated as can be. Like, it's a lot of it's a lot of talk. We've talked about hockey for 40 minutes.
Yeah, I know this is supposed to be about whiskey and gaming. We talked about Pittsburgh Penguins and hockey for the last 42 minutes.
Yeah. All right. So let's bucket this. All right. We'll bucket the hockey talk for another one. Now what? Now what do we talk about? What's the next one gonna be?
Well, the thing, typically there's a smooth transition from one to the next. Like we would have talked about hockey, and then like it would have smoothly went into like another thing. But you can't really go from hockey to whiskey or video gaming or anything like that.
All right, well, I could say video games make me want to drink whiskey because they make me angry. For example, Warzone. That game makes me want to gouge my eyes out, but I can't stop playing it.
You're playing Warzone again?
Dude, I'm literally obsessed with that game. I'm obsessed with it. I play all the time.
Why? Like, what made you start playing it again?
On the charity stream, I played it, and I had so much fun. And I've just been playing it. Like I'll play with like Diarrhea. Diarrhea does carry me all the time. I'll play with like Beagle, Toad, or Tony, and
You
like
guys run into cheaters?
I've ran into a couple, but like we're usually just so bad we just die so fast. It doesn't matter. We don't get to see cheaters.
That's the reason why I stopped playing. I mean, if I die early on, it's one thing, but I'm not playing a 40-minute game and there's me and you versus 2 cheaters left, and they're just shooting us through walls and it ends.
I've had some where I've like been skeptical, like, all right, that guy flicked super fast, stuff like that. But I haven't had any blatant obvious, like I'm 700 meters away and a guy's sniping me out of the air. I haven't had that.
Okay. Maybe I'll have to give it a shot. I mean, because we're still a ways away until the next COD. The next COD, they don't come out till fall.
Yeah, I think like November usually.
Yeah, so maybe I'll have to get back into it. I know there's new maps and stuff all the way.
Well, they just like nerfed a fuck ton of guns in both CODs.
Well, there's always going to be the meta or whatever, where the streamers and the competitive players, they find the best gun, and then the creators of COD go in and switch them and make sure they're not as good anymore.
Yeah, like the AUG, for example. The AUG was like the meta because the AUG was just overpowered as hell. And then
Mac 10 still the best.
Well, so here's the thing about Black Ops. They nerfed the LC-10, the AK-74, and the MAC-10, but now the Milano's the best gun again, like it was when I first started playing. So people are just going to be using that all the time, and all of a sudden that gun's going to be too good, and then it's just going to keep moving stuff up and down. That's the thing about, but like the LC-10 had to be nerfed. Like that gun was just stupid. It was a battle pass gun. You had to be like level 30 in the battle pass to get. And then it was just ridiculous. There was zero recoil. You could just headshot everybody. It was stupid. Made me want to throw my the LC-10 in Black Ops.
I never even heard of that. I don't think
it was terrible.
Huh.
But like in Warzone, the AUG was number 1, and then they made the recoil like ridiculous, which is how it should be. But people still, they just don't get me started on controller players. But controller players, it just doesn't matter.
I feel like Warzone, if you don't have a sniper rifle, it's game over. Like that's how if I didn't have a sniper rifle, I knew I wasn't gonna win.
They just came out with a new controller, or not a new controller, a new sniper. Like it came out like I think today or something.
I'm gonna have to hop back in that maybe this weekend or something to play. I've been looking now for I've been trying to find new. I bought that American Truck Simulator game and I stopped playing it already.
Dude, it was just so funny. Hopping your stream, I just see you sitting there just staring at your little truck. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
I thought it was doing something that I could see myself doing for like hours on end, just like driving this truck. And like I signed up for it was free, but I signed up to they have a mod where you can play online. So while I'm doing my route, there's also other people doing their routes and stuff. But it never worked. And then after a while, I was like, I'm really going to sit here in front of the computer and play for an hour and a half on stream just to do one delivery. And then once I make that delivery, sign up for another delivery and play another hour and a half of just driving down the road. And I always thought that that'd be something that's fun, but apparently not.
Is that game VR supported?
I don't think so. But I see the majority of the people I see streaming it, they have the full setup with the steering wheel and the pedals and the gears. I was doing it not to completely out myself, but I was doing automatic because in real life I don't know how to drive a stick. So it's on the game alone, I was like, okay, I can't worry about when to shift. So I just one button to accelerate, one button to stop, and that was it.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're playing with a keyboard, mouse, or a controller, what's the point of you trying to shift the damn thing?
Yeah, but I see some of the streamers I was watching; they have a full get up. They have the steering wheel and and they got the gear shift over there, shifting as they're going. they take it seriously.
Well,
But
that's the thing about like sim racing is a huge thing. Like my boss has a sim racing setup, and he has 3 monitors. He has the chair, and he has an actual like push steering wheel. He has actual shifters. His pedals are like spring loaded, like to actually feel like a car. It's insane that people's like. And I'm in a sim racing group on Facebook just to see all these crazy things, and people spend like thousands of dollars on this stuff.
well, yeah, I mean, it's similar to how like I may get excited when COD comes out or hockey comes out each year. Those players are pumped as hell when the next, you know, NASCAR game, or I don't even know what other racing games are out there nowadays. But
I can't
when
stick to
those
one game. I can't.
when those games come out, those people are all about it. They buy it. They're standing there midnight waiting to buy it. Like that's what they do. But I've been trying to find new games recently. I don't know if you've seen. It's called Knockout City. I think it is. It's a dodgeball game. So it's like there's 2 teams, and it's in the. I don't. I think the beta might have ended now, but it's like 2 teams, and just it's dodgeball, but in a big city, and like you're not flying around, but like there's certain powers where like the dodgeball you're using could be like a sniper dodgeball. So like when you throw it, it automatically hits them. I don't know. I haven't gotten to play it yet. There was an open beta this past weekend. I haven't played it. I didn't play it, but
That's interesting. Well, the next game I'm gonna start is you ever played Titanfall?
yes,
You
I've played Titanfall 2 before, which I know you've recently wanted to. You were doing the campaign for it, right,
yeah,
or something?
I'm a dude. Did you play the campaign of Titanfall 2?
I don't think so. I think I just tried. Messed around with it when it came out, like maybe the multiplayer. I don't even remember what the game setup is, but I wasn't good at it, so I stopped.
Yeah, because Titanfall 1 was multiplayer only and it was Xbox. And then Titanfall 2 came out and they added a campaign to it and they released it on PC and PS4 and Xbox. And the multiplayer was like mediocre at best. Like it was fun. Like you could like jump in a Titan, run around. It was cool. But that campaign is honestly like one of the top 3 campaigns ever created. It's amazing. It's super short. Like I got the game. I went home at like 4 o'clock and I played all night and I beat it. And I was up to like 6 in the morning the next day, but like I beat it at one sitting. It was just that good of a game. It's super short, but I'm gonna play it again because that game's amazing.
But there's multiplayer for that too, right?
Yeah, and people still play Titanfall 2 multiplayer. Like if you're lucky enough to find a lobby that doesn't have hackers in it, kind of like people still play Modern Warfare 2 for Christ's sake, but it's just all hackers.
Oh, you can find multiplayer. People play multiplayer on any game. Like I have one of the only PS4 discs I have left that I haven't gotten rid of is Infinite Warfare for Call of Duty.
Oh god,
And
that game.
if I put it in there right now, it to this day, it's thought of as one of the worst CODs of all time because of the flying and stuff.
That's what
But
made it bad.
and that's what made it bad, sure. But the problem is I learned how to play Infinite Warfare after the next game came out. Like I learned from one of my friends like the right controller setup to play Infinite Warfare. Like you have to use a good setup where your jump is no longer like the A button on my control or not whatever the X button on my PS4 controller. You use the analog stick so that you can jump and aim at the same time. But I didn't learn that until the new game came out. So I was playing Infinite Warfare a year after the game is gone already.
That's just like how you're supposed to play Fortnite with a controller. You're supposed to have either a scuff or like the elite controller, and you're supposed to have your buttons on the back like jump and shotgun at the same time, so you can just like do dumb shit like that.
Or you set it up like for Builder Pro, they always talk about. But I never did that. To this day, I still don't play that way because that's not how I learned to play. That's the problem with gaming is unless you're a Call of Duty diehard, the first time you're playing a game, you have to learn what the best controls are. And it might take you a year to learn the controls.
That's why I like Call of Duty. It's WASD and you point to shoot. Simple.
Well, yeah, yeah. I guess when you go away from the flying, it's not that hard. But to this day, I still jump. Like whenever I go to shoot somebody, I typically jump because I'm so used to flying in Infinite Warfare.
I've
That's
I've
why I
been
play that.
I've been starting to pro now. I've been clicking that control button, just clicking that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I've tried so many different like shooter games, tactical games, and I keep going back to COD because it's a big name and they typically have okay games at least. They're fun to play. Specifically, this COD's great because it has the 2v2 mode and 3v3 mode.
That's all I play. It's amazing, dude. Face
Yeah,
Off is amazing. It's the best thing they've ever
it's
added.
not fun anymore to play like the big maps.
No, I hate them. I hate all of them.
Yeah, like it's battle royale modes and small like 2v2, 3v3. Those are what the games need to kind of move towards.
And that's what I like about this too is they integrated both CODs, like the Battle Royale Warzone with Black Ops. Like both guns are interchangeable, so you can level up one and the other. Because I can only imagine like just trying to level up a gun playing a Battle Royale. That would just be impossible.
Yeah.
But like you can just hop on the Black Ops, you get your AUG, you play 10 games of Face Off, and there you go. You can add your fucking thermal now in Warzone, then you can
Bring
just
it to
destroy
Warzone,
kids.
yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. And hopefully the next one will be like that. But I feel like Warzone's just gonna be out. Actually, I don't know about that because what was the first COD battle royale they came out with?
That was oh, I don't remember what it was called. I forget. Uh it was on
It was
Black Ops
Dookie.
3.
It was Dookie.
But it was great when it came out because that was what like that was the new thing, like battle royale games. Since Fortnite, when Fortnite came out, everyone was like battle like I remember I played Fortnite like the week it came out. Nobody knew about it yet. I played it. I told everybody about it. They played it. They're like, this is stupid. I'm never playing it again.
I hate it.
I went off, never played it again. And then like 6 months down the line, everyone's talking about Fortnite, best game ever. We're gonna go competitive. I'm like, okay, well, I could have been playing this whole time.
It was Blackout for Black Ops 4.
Blackout. That's right. Black Ops 4. Yeah, yeah, Blackout. I enjoyed it because that was the first battle royale. But now you look back, that game's terrible.
Dude,
Graphics awful.
I hated Fortnite. I can't believe I have almost 18 days played of that fucking game.
They try too hard. They tried to make it so fancy and they do all these cinematic things, but they don't make the gameplay any better.
Season
Like
3, 4, and 5 were perfect. It was fun. You didn't just have these crazy animals running around building mansions around you, and it was just having a good old time. And then they take away these guns. They had a charged shotgun. They like do all this stuff, but like
the other
it's
things that are necessary. They like nobody. I get that you need to kind of keep up with the times, but nobody needed cars on Fortnite or boats. I didn't give a crap if I could swim or not.
no, that was
Nowadays, it's
dumb.
like, oh, well, you got to swim upriver, downriver. We're getting a boat. Let's get in a go kart. It's like,
Let's go
no.
fishing.
In the old days, it was you run on foot to get to the next area, or if you were lucky enough, you could use like the bounce pad, or you could use or like a little trampoline thing, or you could use one of the you would jump in and it would like transform you to like into the air or
Yeah,
whatever. I
the
don't know.
rift. The rifts were
The
fun.
rift,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah. So that was about all you had. But now it's so hard, even though I do it all the time when I play, it's so hard to die to the storm. Like there's always ways to get to the next area.
Yeah, there's like no point in having like a storm in that game. It just makes the circle lower. I don't know.
Yeah.
That game just made me so mad all the time. All the time.
I'm interested to see what's next though. Do you
Dude,
think you think Halo puts a battle royale in it?
apparently they've been talking about it, but it doesn't matter what the fuck happens. You're gonna get these like 12-year-old kids. They're gonna come home from school. They're gonna rip a line of G Fuel off their desk that that they bought their mom's fucking credit card, and they're gonna hop onto their fucking PS5, and they're just gonna just unrush all of us. Doesn't matter. We're gonna get ass raped no matter what game we play. We're too old. That's how it is. We haven't played every day for the past 5 years like the streamers. We're not 12 years. We don't have the reflexes. We're just fucked. We're just a middle generation. We're just screwed. It's over. We're done with. We're
Not
washed.
to mention that I didn't grow up with an Xbox or anything like that, so I never played
Same.
Halo.
I didn't have anything till I was a freshman in high school.
So like I mean I always had PlayStation.
Mhm.
So when the new Halo comes out, you can bet your ass I'm gonna get it because I know it's gonna be great and it's supposed to be the next big thing and everyone's excited for it. But I'm gonna be so bad. I'm
I
gonna have
was
no idea what to do.
so bad at Halo. I downloaded the Master Chief Collection to play with like Hode and all them, right? And like they have all this fun because Hode had an Xbox, and like I played with Hode when he would come over to my house and he'd bring it because that was that's what also Halo did. You could have like 4 people play on one account on Halo. Like you'd have a 4-person split screen, which was awesome. And like I would play with him, but I would be so bad, and I would play what like once every month or so when he'd bring his Xbox over. So like I never got to play all the time. Like I don't know what to fucking do. I don't know what half these guns are. I don't know how shit shoots. Like no, I walk in, I try to kill somebody. I'm like, oh, you have armor. Now I'm dead. Like it's awesome.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how that game goes, trying to play that. But otherwise, I don't really know. Like Just trying to find a new game to play. Maybe I need to get back into Warzone. It was always fun playing Warzone.
It is fun. It makes me mad, but it's fun.
Um,
But like, I don't know. Cyberpunk released a huge patch like today or something. They said they finally fixed the fucking game.
yeah, they came out with a huge patch sometime this past week, but like I'm still not gonna play yet because all they did was fix the game. And to be honest, I didn't think much needed to be fixed on my end.
You're
Anyways.
the only person that could run that fucking game. Dude,
Like,
I
it
couldn't do
ran-
shit. It
I don't know
wouldn't
if my
fucking work.
I don't know if my settings were just like the perfect amount. Like I had like the perfect settings set to like the right levels, but I never had problems with it. It I think it crashed once or twice, but like I beat the game, never had a problem. Graphics were fine. I think it was because we don't, or because I didn't play it on PS4. Like my brother bought it on the PS4 and he hated it. He said that the graphics were terrible, so he got a refund. But for me,
They even said like you can't play that game on last gen console. Like you have to play it on PC or like a new console because the old ones just can't fucking handle it. They just couldn't do it.
so I mean, once they put the new DLC out, I'll be grinding that again.
Oh
Once they do
Jesus.
new stuff, but I've already beat the story mode twice because there's like a bunch of different routes you can take. I've done it twice, and I haven't played it in months now.
You stream like the whole fucking thing too.
Yeah, I only had it when it first came out for like I think I played it for like a month, maybe not even a couple weeks, and it's by far the most played game on my whole Steam. By far, not even close.
Dude, you were I would be sitting here at work and I'd be like, oh, I know Corey's off today on a Friday. Look, he's playing fucking Cyberpunk at 10 in the morning. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yep, that's what I did. But
Yeah, no, I played it. I got way too many stutters. Couldn't get the run well. Kept crashing. Said fuck it.
have you tried it since the new patch?
Nope.
You have to give it a shot, see if it works.
Nope. It's gonna sit there and collect dust.
Well, not to mention there's still no multiplayer yet. That's going to be coming way down the line.
Dude, I don't even want to talk about multiplayer. If you can't get a fucking story mode game to run well, imagine having a multiplayer game. Fuck no.
I can only imagine the cheaters that are going to be playing multiplayer for Cyberpunk. I completely forgot about Cyberpunk, honestly, until you brought it up right now.
It's GTA but pretty colors. That's all it is. Apparently, the new GTA was released. My brother was telling me. Oh no,
The
like
new
yeah,
the new
apparently,
GTA?
yeah, they were talking about like GTA 6 or some shit.
Oh, no, but the game hasn't been released.
No, like released, but like
Yeah, like
announced.
details.
Announced, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. No, I mean, now that's a game that I will grind. Like, if you took what games across all my consoles I've ever had, GTA is by far the highest. Like I have to have hundreds upon hundreds of hours of GTA because I had it since it came out on PS3, and I've played it since then.
Same. I got it when it came out junior year. It was either junior or senior year. I skipped school that day, and I made my mom go pick me up, and I was like, "Let's go." And that's all I did. And I played the whole thing. I did all 3 alternate endings. I had so much fun with it. And now when I play it, I'm like, wow, it's the same game I played when I was in high school. And like, I'm like, this is
Nothing
stupid.
changed. Nothing's changed. They add new DLCs all the time, but nothing changed. If anything, it's actually more frustrating now because the DLCs they add, like, hey, you can now buy a submarine. It only costs you $15 million. It's like, okay, well, I haven't played this game in a long time, so I only have like 500K
Yeah.
in my account. So it looks like I'm never buying a submarine.
The only reason I have it on my computer is because Epic Games gave it to me for free for a week. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to download it. And then if I ever want to play it in the future, at least I'll have it. And I played it, I think, twice with AJ. We got online, we tried to do a mission, we got exploded. There's cheaters everywhere, people are falling around the map, and I alt F4 and I haven't played since.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was fun back in the day, but now there's too many people take the game way too seriously. And people
So much.
cheat, and if somebody has more money, they can buy a tank or whatever. It was way fun way back when it was an even playing field, and the amount of money I had was the same as everybody else.
Yeah. So you're thinking. So how many days do you think you have played in GTA across PS3, 4, and PC?
I wouldn't even be able to guess. I don't even know. There has to be a way for me to look that up somewhere. But
I can tell you my most played game, 58 fucking days in RuneScape there, my guy.
RuneScape.
58 days, bro. I have in that fucking Flickr game. fill up fucking pixels.
See, that's the thing. You started playing that way long ago, though. So
Well,
like,
yeah, that account's like 13 years old.
yeah. So like, I mean, like that's why you always told me like you should download RuneScape, give it a shot. And it's like my first time playing RuneScape is 2019 or whatever. When you tell me to download, and I look at it, it's like the graphics are terrible.
Yes, that's a point. Old school RuneScape is the best.
But that's what I'm saying. But then you go back when you started playing for the very first time, it's like, oh, these are just what the graphics are. It's no big deal.
Yes, it was awesome. There is RuneScape 3, which is Easyscape, and that's pretty colors and that's high graphics and all this shit in HD. And I remember when RuneScape came out with it wasn't RS3 yet. It was RS2, and it was just like the HD version of it, and that was like revolutionary. Like they were like, "Holy shit! They actually see you walk now, and there's motion and this and that." And it was amazing. Now I look at it and I was like, "Fuck that! I want this goddamn like pixelated mess on my screen."
Yeah, I think what I've learned is that I need to just when the new games come out that seem like they could become something, I need to just play them and stick with it. Because like Fortnite, like I played Fortnite. I was one of the first like probably I don't know 100,000 people that have ever played Fortnite, and then I stopped. And now, even though we hate it now, it's like one of the biggest games
Imagine where
still.
you could have been if you
Yeah,
just would have stuck with Fortnite, played it, got good, streamed it. You could have been a millionaire. You could have been a fucking millionaire.
well, that's like I get. First of all, I should have had a PC all these years because
Well,
like
I
some of the
told you since day one. You just didn't fucking listen to me.
well, I mean, it took me a little bit of time, but like for example, like what if Cyberpunk's like that? What if I just hate Cyberpunk right now, and then multiplayer comes out in like a year or two, and it becomes the next big thing? But I'm so tired of Cyberpunk by then that like I'm just not good at it.
Yeah, I don't know. You just need to find a game that like 12-year-olds love, and you just need to get good at it before other people get good at it. That's it. That's all it is. It's the same thing in music. The It's just like I said about A Day to Remember, their most recent album, which you love because you love that fucking music. It's 12-year-old girl music, and that's where the
Because that's
money
all I
is.
know. That's all I know. I don't know the heavier stuff. So I come in at this stage and I see the music that they're releasing and I love it. But for someone like you, it's like, what the hell is this shit? Like,
Yeah,
this is not what I grew up on.
it's fucked. But again, I don't blame them because ever since they did that song with Marshmello, they got popular. And when you get popular, you have 12-year-old girls with rich moms that'll buy your shit. It's the same thing with video games. You have 12-year-old kids that steal their mom's credit card and give you money. It's the same thing with video games and music. It's just one boys, one's girls, and they're both giving your daddy's money. That's all it fucking is.
Yeah.
And you can't change my mind on it. That's all it is. That's all it is. All it is.
I need it'd be nice to just find the next big thing and get in on it early and just like become great. I've never had a game that I was great at. I was very, very good at NHL. To this day, I still am at online with teams as well as just versus one on one. I've always been very good at hockey, but I'm not good enough to like go competitive with it. Like some of the guys that I've played with in the past I've played in competitive leagues and I've been one of the best defensemen in the league, but not enough that I could go competitive and win money. And I
Because
want to get to
they've
that.
been playing for fucking years. That's what it is. It's all games are fucked. All of them. It's all ridiculous. It's just it's all fucked. It's all fucked. Everything is.
There's not enough time to like these 12-year-olds. That's what they do all day. They just play. They go to school, they come home, and they play from the time they get home to the time they go to bed. And they wake up tomorrow. They do the same thing. Me, like I don't have the
Same.
time in my life to like. I go to work and I come home. I can't just come home and be like, hey, I'm gonna go play video games for the rest of the night. Like I gotta go to the gym. I have to make dinner. I have to get ready for the
Ha,
next day of work.
going to the gym. LOL.
Well, gotta try to stay healthy at least.
No, I nope. I've been trying to eat healthier just because like it's cheaper and better for you, and I feel great. I've been eating like fucking yogurt every day now, and I feel awesome. It's weird.
I mean, I eat yogurt every single day.
Yeah,
I
I have my 4 to 5 eggs. I mean, bacon obviously isn't healthy, but I either have like my bacon or my sausage or my kielbasa, my eggs in the morning, and I have a nice glass of milk. And then for dinner, I'll have like a burger, or like a steak or chicken or something. My mom just bought us a fucking air fryer, my dude, and that thing is
Game
mint.
changer. Game changer.
Mint.
But we should hold this conversation for next week though.
Okay, so
Because it'll be good to have something that we know we're going to talk about So we'll talk next week about basically how your eating has changed, because I can sense that it has. Because I remember typically when we talk about your eating is always like, I remember going to Giant Eagle when they had that deal for those salt and vinegar chips or whatever they were.
I still get those. I still
And
buy
you
chips.
they had a deal, and you bought like 10 bags for like $1 or something.
They were 10 for $10. You can't tell me I wasn't about to fucking buy 10 bags.
So we will discuss that next week. We'll talk about eating and food and nutrition stuff, and then hopefully get into whiskey, considering that that's like the main part of all this.
It's his life of whiskey gamers. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about gaming a lot, which is good.
Macallan. There you go. There's your whiskey.
Ardbeg.
There you go. Perfect. All right.
Anything smoky, that's all we need to talk about. We got Macallan or anything smooth, that's the way Blake leans. Anything super rough and smoky, that's where I lean.
Oh yeah, dude. Macallan. Ooh. All right, guys. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you everybody for listening. Like I said, this will be up tomorrow, probably around midday on Apple Music and Spotify. And if you're listening to it, then it's already up on Apple Music and Spotify. So